Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Dante and Shakespeare, the hero as poet, on heroes, hero worship, and the heroic in history, a book by Thomas Carlyle. Thomas Carlyle was a Scottish philosopher, satirical writer, essayist, historian, and teacher. He was born on December 4th in 1795 in Scotland. He was a contemporary of the Romantic poets, translator of Goethe, and historian of the French Revolution. He wrote political essays, historiography, philosophical satires, and fictions in which he often blurred the boundaries between literary genres. Carlyle died on February 5, 1881, in London, in England, and upon his death, a place was offered for him in Westminster Abbey, but rejected due to his explicit wish to be buried beside his parents. His final words were, "So this is death? Well." He presented many lectures during his lifetime with certain acclaim in the Victorian era. One of those conferences resulted in his famous work on heroes, hero worship, and the heroic in history, where he explains that the key role in history lies in the actions of the great man, claiming that history is nothing but the biography of the great man. This book by Thomas Carlyle was published by James Fraser in London in 1841. It is a collection of the 6 lectures given from 1837 to 1840 about prominent historical figures. It lays out Carlyle's belief in the importance of heroic leadership. In this series of lectures, Carlyle's theme is the history of man, particularly of the great man in different capacities. His 6 lectures were The Hero as Divinity on Odin, Paganism; The Hero as Prophet on Islam, Preceptor, Muhammad I; The Hero as Poet on Dante and Shakespeare; The Hero as Priest on Luther and Knox; The Hero as Man of Letters on Johnson, Rosset, and Burns; The Hero as King on Cromwell and Napoleon. In The Hero as Poet on Dante, in his lecture, he introduces us to the life and significance of Dante Alighieri, an Italian poet who lived during a period of great upheaval in Italy. This era was marked by political rivalries between cities, states, and conflicts within the Catholic Church. Dante's personal life was marked by struggles as well. He found himself on the wrong side of political disputes and was eventually banished from his beloved city, Florence. Carlyle portrays Dante as a heroic figure because he stood up for his convictions even when faced with the harsh consequences of exile. Central to Dante's legacy is his monumental work, The Divine Comedy. This epic poem takes readers on a journey through hell, purgatory, and heaven. Carlyle explains that each of these realms represent a symbolic phase of a person's spiritual development. Dante's exploration of these places offers a way to understand humanity, relationship with morality, sin, and redemption. Carlyle admires Dante's audacity in using his poetic voice to address political and religious themes. Despite his banishment, Dante expressed his thoughts and beliefs fearlessly through his writing. This, according to Carlyle, is an act of heroism, as Dante used his heart to challenge the established norms and promote a vision of a better society. Dante's The Divine Comedy is seen by Carlyle as a reflection of his deep insights into human nature and morality. The poem addresses profound questions about life and the human condition. Carlyle's emphasis on Dante's courage and intellectual contributions underscores his status as a heroic figure whose influence stretched far beyond his time. In The Hero as Poet on Shakespeare, he introduces us to the life and literary genius of William Shakespeare, a playwright and poet from England. Carlyle acknowledges the lack of detailed biographical information about Shakespeare's life, but he focuses on what Shakespeare achieved through his works. Shakespeare's strength lies in his characters. Carlyle explains that Shakespeare's characters are like mirrors of human emotions and motivations. They are complex and relatable, capturing the depth and diversity of human nature. Hamlet, for instance, represents the turmoil of decision making, while Macbeth explores the consequences of unchecked ambition. Carlyle marvels at Shakespeare's contribution to the English language. He coined new words and phrases that enriched the vocabulary and left an indelible mark on the way we communicate. Carlyle emphasizes that Shakespeare's linguistic creativity is part of his heroic legacy. Shakespeare's plays, whether comedies or tragedies, reflect a deep understanding of human emotions and relationships. His stories are not confined to his time. They explore universal themes that resonate with audiences across cultures and generations. Carlyle considers Shakespeare a hero because his works hold up a mirror to human behavior and psychology. Shakespeare's exploration of jealousy, love, power, and morality serves as a timeless guide to understanding the complexities of human interactions. Carlyle's lectures highlights the heroic nature of both Dante and Shakespeare. Through their writings, they challenged convictions, explored profound themes, and left a lasting impact on literature and thought. Carlyle wants us to see Dante and Shakespeare as heroes because they use their writing to talk about big ideas and show us important things about being sheer human. Speaking about Shakespeare in his lecture, Thomas Carlyle opines that what Homer was to Greece and Dante to the Middle Ages, likewise Shakespeare was to modern age. Shakespeare, Carlyle says, has given us the practice of body, whereas Dante has given us the faith or soul. Shakespeare may well be placed on a pedestal at par with Homer and Dante. Carlyle claims that the sovereign poet Shakespeare, with his seeing eye, with his perennial singing voice, was sent to take note of the changing times in Europe. Shakespeare worked as the Renaissance was unfolding, which gave him advantages Dante didn't have. Carlyle is in all praise for Shakespeare. He calls him priceless, calmness of depth, placid of joy and strength, great soul, true and clear, like tranquil, unfathomable sea. Shakespeare is further on compared to an immaculate built house, which makes us forget the rude, disorderly raw material with which it was built. Carlyle believes Shakespeare could have done so much more than he did in terms of politics of public leadership. The finished product, that is Shakespeare, is so perfect that we forget from what raw material he was made with. In the same manner, his finished plays are just as perfect as he is, and we can no longer discern the raw materials used to make the plays. The insight with which Shakespeare arranged the plot in his plays is itself an art and shows the true intelligence of the man. Carlyle asserts that even the scientific works of intellect of Sir Francis Bacon is earthly and secondary in comparison to Shakespeare. What he implies is that Shakespeare's work is divine. If anyone in the modern times can be compared to Shakespeare, Carlyle believes that only the German poet Goethe is somewhat comparable to the English bard, that is Shakespeare. Carlyle further draws attention to Shakespeare's skill at fusing the intellectual and moral nature of man. He does this so perfectly in his works that there is always continuity in nature. He calls Shakespeare the greatest intellect that the world has ever seen. Carlyle terms this as the unconscious intellect and also claims that there is more virtue in Shakespeare than he is even ever aware of. Carlyle believes Shakespeare's art is not artifice but something that grows from the depths of nature. Despite knowing the poet so well, we don't know much about his own life's sorrows or struggles. It bewilders Carlyle how a man can delineate a Hamlet, a Coriolanus, a Macbeth, and so many suffering heroic hearts if his own heroic heart had never suffered. In the end, he says, "Yet I call Shakespeare greater than Dante, in that he fought truly and did conquer." And here ends this essay. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you're not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.